It's time now for Crime and Consequence. Police turning to social media, Facebook, places like that to put out pictures, mugshots, things like that, video, surveillance video, as they try to find people. They try and catch the bad guys. This is a good development. Seems neat. It's a great way to get information out there. Are people responding to it? Is it working? And what are the pitfalls here? Well, we turn to our guy who knows a lot more about tech than we do. Shelly Palmer is the host of Digital Life with Shelly Palmer, which I was just on. I taped with you, and it's going to be on tonight. I love talking to you. You know so much about this stuff. Tell me about this, the provenance of this idea of using social media to catch the bad guys. We know that the police have been on the internet and on chat pages and things like that, posing as, to try and trap pedophiles and things like that. But this is different.
This is a little different because basically Facebook has a little over 500 million profiles that are active, and it's either the third or fourth largest virtual country in the world.
Right.
So if you think back 100 years, where would you put wanted posters? Where would you put the
intersection?
Or in the post office, where everybody seemed to go.
Right.
Well, people are virtually congregating at Facebook right now, so it makes all the sense in the world to put pictures up on Facebook. The question is, they can't ever be erased, right? Because once they're up there, they're free for anyone to take down. And so it's not so much that they're putting mugshots on Facebook. That's all cool. But what happens if maybe the deal is that the record is going to be sealed after the case?
Right.
Nothing can be unsaid and nothing can be unpublished. So we've got pictures out there in the ether of someone accused of something. Remember, they're not just posting wanted posters. Right. They're posting arrest records. Here's a mugshot. We arrested this person for DWI. Maybe they weren't DWI. Maybe that record gets sealed. Maybe, who knows what? Right. So in a world where nothing can be unsaid, I think this is a teaching moment, Ali. I think this is a time where we have to sit back and say, we're now living in a meta world or a virtual world that describes the real world we live in.
Right.
We've got to be ready for that.
I'm trying, as you're saying this to me, I'm trying to think of how you would deal with that. And I don't know how you would, because that picture's up there. Somebody can copy it and put it somewhere else.
Absolutely. But remember, Tiger Woods didn't really know he was making a digital audio recording with that voicemail.
Right.
Elliot Spitzer didn't know he was making an electronic transaction with no way to erase it with that funds transfer.
Right, right.
We live in a world where the technology is so beautifully woven into the fabric of the way we live.
Yeah.
That it becomes invisible to us, but it's not invisible. We live in a new world now, and you're right, you couldn't take those pictures down. And the question isn't can you or can't you? You can't.
Yeah.
Now, how will we act as a society when our tools empower new behaviors, and the new behavior is, I'm going to text, I'm going to sext, I'm going to chext. I saw this the other night, and knocked me out. You have somebody who's introduced to somebody, they start flirting via text messages across a table. And they call it chexting, because they're cheating on their spouses while sitting next to their spouses. Like, come on, silly. But the technology empowers new behaviors. These police mugshots are just really the tip of the little iceberg about what's coming.
Do you think that's good, bad, or you just don't have a position on it?
It actually doesn't matter whether I think it's good or bad or not.
Is.
Because it is, and we're living in a world that's part of the information age, and you and I and everyone who's listening needs to start to think about how do we look online, how do we look offline, and do the two in any way resemble one another.
Do you have any sense of the effectiveness of these programs? And putting aside that danger, is it working?
Hugely effective. Yeah. Hugely effective, because the number one thing that people do on Facebook is look at other people's pictures. So if you're going to post a picture and you want someone to know something about it, that's a great place to put it. And social media is incredibly powerful. You tweet every day about the news items and things that are important to you. You've got a set of followers. They have trust circles, people they trust. And this becomes a very powerful network, and it's huge, right? It instantly scales. So we find ourselves in a very new place, and of course, law enforcement's going to use it. By the way, criminals are going to use it, right? This is not just in the power and providence of the police or us as individuals. You know, the bad guys are thinking about it too.
All right, Shelly, always great to talk to you. Thanks so much. Shelly Palmer is the host of Digital Life with Shelly Palmer and knows all about these sorts of things. We'll continue to have them on the show. Good to see you in person.
Great to see you, Al.